Hi, it's Ileana. So today I'm going to talk about cord cutting, curses, and hexes. So one of the questions I'm asked as a healer, can you cut the cords that I have with my relatives, my parents, children? Because I've done my healing, I've done all the work that I can, and I've gone to healers, but I still feel attached with the toxicity, the negative energy to the relative, to whoever it is. It could also be friends, family, co-workers, it could be anybody. But sometimes the strongest connections we have is with our closest family, who we are in proximity with or were in proximity with. It still impacts us, even though we've done the amount of healing for like 20, 30, 40 years. Sometimes when we want to do cord cutting, if there's other underlying causes, root causes of that negative energies being attached from one person to the other, like strong connection that is not healthy, it could be because of generational curses and hexes that are attached to the person who's creating the negativity, whose behavior is narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic. Because there are sociopaths and psychopaths and even psychic sociopaths who are psychically vampiric, energetic vampires who just feed off of other people's energy and drain them, making them tired, making them feel energetically and physically sick. And it's not just, hey, that person is negative and toxic. Sometimes those people have been cursed or hexed with dark magic that's causing them to behave the way they do, to be so toxic, because they have no way of stopping that cycle of what the curse was coded and programmed to make them do, to be psychopathic, to make them sociopathic, to make them a sociopath or a psychopath or a psychic vampire. Sometimes their actions, even though those actions are not excusable, there's a root cause why they act that way. It's because there's programming, sometimes from both a curse and a hex, that causes them to be out of control, to attack people, their loved ones, their friends, their family, pets. They have no way to stop controlling themselves in the ways that they act. They don't have self-control because of a curse that's fueling their actions. It's literally stuck inside their soul field. The curse, the hex, or even if somebody did some bad dark magic to program you to act badly. Not necessarily a full curse, but half a curse, half a hex mixed together. It's still a very powerful concoction of negative energy, dark black magic that is impacting the person and the way they behave with their family and others. So if you attempt to do any cord cutting between you and the relative, the friend, or whatever, and attempt to heal it and release it, cord cutting is done once the curse and the hex have been completely removed from both parties on both ends. So then you can cut the cords that bind between the relative and you until you actually remove the curse and the hex, or a combination of curse, hex, and whatever dark magic was done on that person and was passed down to you generationally from them to you, and you still share that connection. The curse, the hex, the combination of all of the above and the dark magic needs to be completely removed, broken, completely severed. So that has to be addressed as the root cause of the problem before attempting to do any type of healing and cord cutting. The cleanup work has to be done first, the major cleaning of lifting the curse, the hex, and any residual black magic still connected between those two people. That is the first thing somebody who's a powerful, strong practitioner who lifts dark magic and removes it from other people. When you're dealing with a curse or a hex and dark magic mixed together, this is the deep-rooted work you need to do first before doing any cord cutting and healing, because cord cutting is not enough. It's not going to break the curse and the hex. It's just going to make it seem like you have milder symptoms of the curse and the hex temporarily, and then it'll come back full throttle when it wears off, because it's not a permanent solution to the problem. You have to lift the original generational curse and the hex, or if it's not a generational family lineage curse, if somebody cursed you several years ago or hexed you or both, or did something with black magic on you, you have to unravel that. Lift it, remove it completely, and check everything in the energetic soul field to make sure, plus the physical field, to make sure everything has been cleaned thoroughly from top to bottom. Remove the cursing, remove the hexing, remove the dark magic. All of it has to be cleaned up. Then you can do the cord cutting. Then you can do the soul release. Then you can do the healing. But you have to do the hard part first, the major cleanup of unraveling the dark magic, figuring out how it was done originally, removing the hexing, the cursing, in combination of everything that was involved in it, trying to figure out who cursed the person or the people, what kind of curse was it, what kind of a hex, what was the purpose. So the practitioner has to be a strong psychic to understand what dark magic is, what black magic is, what ritual magic is, what that black magic entails, because it could be energetic, it could be blood magic, blood pathing. That's very powerful frequency. Or it could have been from somebody's hair, nails, something of a personal possession like a hairbrush, or just an energetic curse or hex with a person's thoughts, and just programming energetic thoughts to program the other person to do miserable things to other people, to attack people, and basically create toxicity where it's not needed for family, friends, etc. So understanding the type of curse, the type of hex, the type of programming that was inflicted with the dark magic onto the person and what they're doing to the others as a result. So it might not always be their fault, the way they're behaving. Nobody's excusing the behavior itself and the toxicity the person has caused, but there might be deep reasons rooted behind all of that. That it's not just the person being nasty and toxic naturally as part of their core personality. There might be more to it than what we think. And we would need to know. We would need to know that information to be able to work on fixing that. I was trained as a white light magic practitioner with white light magic, and I did study what dark magic is. I don't work with it, but I did study it. So I know what curses are, what hexes are, and I energetically know a curse and a hex when I sense it and see it in somebody's soul field. I don't do removal of curses and hexes anymore, because that can wear on a soul as well. It could actually wear you out, and it can be harmful to the person that constantly does this work, because it's the most powerful work anybody could do. Removing, unraveling dark magic, then lifting a curse and a hex, and then working on healing the person and doing the cord cutting and the soul release. on whoever was targeted, as well as cutting the cords that bind between the other originator of that curse and a hex and the dark magic. It's quite the process, working through all of it to find the original point where the curse, the hex, the dark magic came from, how they were weaved, how they were programmed, combined, what the targets are, what the purposes are of the curse, the hex, and combination of black magic, dark magic, because it's all combined, unraveling that, lifting that, removing it, purifying the person, doing the soul release, then doing the cord cutting. That's really hard work, and it takes a strong practitioner to do that kind of work. A very powerful, strong practitioner who is not affected by the energy of the curse, the hex, and the black magic. I'm a decent practitioner, decent healer. I know my light white magic, my white light magic. I know dark magic, studied it, understand it, have done removal and lifting of curses, hexes, black magic, unraveled it, removed it. But I do not want to be connected to doing that work anymore. It is profound work to do. Whoever does it, you are needed. You are important. That type of work is important to do so people don't suffer being hexed and cursed, and learning how to protect yourself energetically so curses and hexes cannot penetrate your soul field and your physical body. Doing your cleansing mantras every day, purifying and cleansing your soul so nothing can enter your body and your soul field. Doing the work. Also, not blaming others. Well, I've done my healing, I've done my work on myself, but I'm still having all these issues. And taking responsibility for your own actions and not saying there's a list of people who want nothing to do with me because of this, and that. Working on yourself to make sure you are healed, to make sure you are balanced within yourself and not blaming others for the issues and the problems you have in life. I know that may sound trite, but looking in your own soul field to see what your energy is like. Are you well balanced? Are you fully healed? Or do you think you're just healed? But there's still other things that weren't quite healed that you need to work on. Healing is a constant thing, to heal thyself, to work on thyself, to be healed. It's not just the healer's responsibility to heal you. It's also your responsibility to help yourself with self-healing or to find good help with expert practitioners who can actually lift curses, hexes, and so on and so forth, and remove the dark black magic from your soul field, from your physicality, and cut the cords from the other person connected to you through the curse, through the hex, through the dark magic. That is doing the work, helping yourself, and not complaining and blaming other people that they're so toxic, that they're so demonic, that they caused all your hurt in this world, because it might not be fully their fault what they're going through and doing to others, because something traumatic and demonic was done to them to cause them to be this way. Understanding this and figuring it out and truly healing it. And I often say, you need to find a practitioner, a good one, who removes curses and hexes and dark magic. And this is now why I'm talking about this topic, so your life situation doesn't continue to stay toxic. Understanding the symptoms of a curse, of a hex, because somebody energetically programs somebody else to behave a certain way, to be demonic, to be narcissistic, to be toxic, to toxify and literally cause chaos, damage, trauma, physical pain, energetic pain towards others to make them miserable and to be in pain, because that is what that person was programmed to do by the curse, the hex, or the dark magic, or a combination of all of the above. And they're acting that out daily, constantly on other people, because that's what they're programmed to do. It's not maybe natural to them to do it, but that's the programming of that curse, that hex, and that dark magic pushing them to do it. As the mind control program, the codes of the curse, the hex, and the dark magic impacting them, causing them to behave this way, to be nasty to others, and to try to destroy others. That's the part of what the curse tells them to do. The hex tells them to do. The dark magic influences them to do. Again, it might not be even natural to their state of who they are as a person and a personality. It's the curse talking. It's the hex making them do it. It's the black magic urging them to act out in those ways towards others, to cause harm and to harm others through bad deeds and dark actions, because they can't control themselves. They cannot stop themselves from doing it in the first place. They're just acting out the bad programming that they were cursed with, hexed with, given through energetic transference through the dark magic, simply by being connected to somebody else who can do this, who can curse them, who can hex them, or put black magic on them. Just by being in the vicinity of somebody can energetically transfer a curse, a hex, or black magic be done on you. It can be done through proximity of contact. It can be done remotely from long distance. If somebody's powerful in black magic, they can do it. They don't even have to be close to you to do it. They can just lock on onto your soul field and transfer the curse, the hex, or the black magic. It's very easy for somebody who's powerful, who's a black magic sorcerer, warlock, wizard, witch. They can do it. I'm not saying all of these people are negative, bad, or targeting others, but there are beings like that in the universe who are dark, human and non-human entities. There's also white light magic practitioners who can remove those things, curses, hexes, and black magic. Their magic practitioners are not all bad souls. Not everyone is bad, but some are not so good. Curses and hexes often have spells attached to them that can be written in word form. It could be spoken. It could be energetically transmitted through energy to the person's soul field in the physical body to make them sick, to make them agitated, to make them feel bad. So it's understanding what the spell was, what the energy was of the curse, the hex, or the dark magic, which was the source of the spell for the curse and the hex. It's a process of unraveling all of that stuff that's combined. And again, I've had people asking me, well, why can't you help me? Why can't you just do the cord cutting and it would fix it? Because it wouldn't. You have to remove the curse, the hex, and the dark magic first before doing the cord cutting and soul release. That's how it works. You have to do the full work for it to work as the full healing. For that full healing to happen, you have to do all of that stuff to be clean. It's a step-by-step process. You have to understand what the curse, the hex is, what the spell work was for it, what the black magic was, what it is first, then unravel it, remove it, release the energy of the dark magic, then do the cord cutting and soul release. Between family members to friends, mothers, daughters, sons, wives, husbands, mother-in-laws, relatives, parents. If you're connected to somebody through a curse and being impacted by it, or a hex or dark magic, or all of the above with spell work, you would have to remove the curse, the hex, the black magic, the spell work, for it to be completely removed and lifted from you and the person who was cursed, because you're interconnected energetically to them. So that has to be done first. Then the cord cutting between you two would need to be done for everything to be clean and healed, to be free of that person's energy who was cursed, hexed, or something was done to them with black magic and spell work. They need to be free. You need to be free. So the curse needs to be removed from them and from you, because it's impacting you. You're sharing the energy of the curse, the hex, and the dark magic with the spell work. You have to remove what you're sharing. So you have to go to the roots of the problem, remove the curse, remove the hex, remove the dark magic with the spell work, then do the cord cutting between you two and soul release. It would only work if you do the full work. So it has to be done that way for it to be completely done in the right way, for it to work actually. So you're not suffering anymore from the results of the curse that you're interconnected to, either generationally through the family or through interconnections of family connection from spouses, friends, family, etc., etc. It has to be cleared in a specific way for it to work, to be fully healthy and free of the influences of the curse, the hex, the dark magic, the blood magic, the spell work, whatever it was. You have to be totally free of it by removing all of it and clearing and cleansing, then doing the cord cutting for it to work as it should properly, to be totally free of it. So I just wanted to discuss this topic because I think it's important to understand how all of this works and why it can happen. What's the root cause? So thank you so much, and namaste.